Hot 97, Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and guess who's on time? Because he's amazing. His name is John Legend. Give it up for John Legend.
Of course she's on time.
John.
Well, no, I mean, he came in with one person. You know, look, we deal with a lot of rappers up here. They show up with 40 people. They smell like weed and they're late. And then they got an attitude with you and they're late for your program.
Yes.
Man.
Not John Legend, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, everybody.
Are you normally up this early? I mean, your dad now.
Yeah, we have a baby, so we're usually up. Like, I usually get up and work out before she gets up.
Got
So
it.
I get up at like 6:30.
Baby sleeping through the night pretty good?
Pretty good, yeah.
How old is the baby now?
She's 6 months today.
Oh, baby Luna.
Yes.
Baby Luna.
6 months.
6 months, yeah.
So, John, you're very political.
Yeah.
Very vocal.
Yeah.
You just did a voter registration in your home state of Ohio.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was great. I went to Central State University. I went to University of Cincinnati, all in the area where I grew up. And we just reached out to the young people and made sure they were signed up to vote and make sure they get out and vote early because Ohio voting early started this week already.
And that's an important state. Always
important. And
always.
Hillary's ahead right now, but it's very close.
How well have you gotten to know Hillary over the years? How many things have you done with her?
The first thing I ever did with her was when she was running for Senate, her re-election for Senate here in New York. And I supported Obama, in 2008. So, it was a little,
Weird at
Little
first.
tension.
it wasn't weird, but it was like, we weren't supporting her. So it was.
Did anyone reach out like, hey, do you want to do an event for Hillary while you're supporting Obama? And you're like, sorry, I'm actually Team Obama.
Well, it was like people weren't sure how people were going to line up during the early parts of the primary. So, there was like a little awkwardness, but everybody's over that now. Everybody's in
Same team.
Same team, and everybody's let's go Hillary and let's
So what does she say
defeat
when she
this
sees you
monster.
though?
She's like super grateful and really warm and really listening to what people are concerned about and trying to make change happen.
Do you like how Bernie Sanders kind of changed her? Like, where were you at on the Bernie Sanders thing?
I love what Bernie did because I think it's not just Bernie did it, it's the party and the people did it because the people basically said, we want the party to be more progressive and I think Hillary listened to that and took Bernie's input and changed her, college affordability plan based on him. And I think she moved to the left on a few other issues that she might not have done if the people and Bernie's folks particularly didn't push her in that direction. And I think that's a good thing when politicians are responsive and shape their policies based on the feedback they're getting from the people.
Actually listening.
Yeah.
Did you know Trump? Had you ever met Trump at any events in the
I
years?
met him at Cipriani's at some fundraiser or something.
Right.
But, I always thought he was a clown. And he wasn't really political until he started doing that whole birther thing. And
Yep.
I spoke against that at the time, said this is some racist bullsh. And I've been saying that for, years. And I didn't think he would really run for president because I always thought,
Who would actually?
no, there's no way he would carry this through. One, because I think he has no seriousness and doesn't actually want to be president. I think he just wants to.
He's actually said he didn't expect to get this far.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. He wants to win for the sake of winning, but he doesn't actually want to govern. I don't think he has the patience, the curiosity, the knowledge, the qualification. He can't even focus. He can't even read a briefing book long enough to learn.
He can't give a speech on an issue.
Yeah.
He starts if he's supposed to speak on a given issue, he'll make it 2 minutes, and then he's like, what about crooked Hillary?
And then
that's
he'll start riffing.
Yeah.
Guys, he even forgot when the actual election day is.
November 28th. If you're voting for
Yes.
Trump, make sure you get out
That's
November
what he
28th.
said.
Wait a minute.
You missed
I didn't know that.
I think the audio was the system. Yes.
You said the wrong day. You
Vote
said
right
November
after.
28th.
He was so
Vote
sure
right
about it,
after
too.
you have your Thanksgiving turkey.
It's so ridiculous.
Wake up on Friday, and when you go to do your shopping on Black Friday, stop by and vote for Trump.
Yo, John Legend's here this morning. Yo, get on a classic John Legend joint for me, Cash One. You can hang out for a minute?
Yeah.
What's your album title, date? What's all that?
It's called Darkness and Light. It's coming in December. I don't know if we have the exact date yet, but it'll be December.
And we'll talk about your new singles.
Yeah.
And being married and being a dad.
Yeah.
Let's get into all of it. John Legend's on Ebro in the morning. Let's go. Heavy dad talk right now. Behind the scenes with John Legend.
It's so serious.
So serious. T-Bro on the morning, Large Styles, Rosenberg, John Legend has taken over the program. Listening to this record right here, right?
I love this record.
I just dawned on me after he played your hit, your classic, Ready to Go.
Yeah.
With Andre 3000, that you kind of were a trailblazer in that up tempo for this generation. You had some up tempo songs and ballads.
I don't know if I was a trailblazer, but we had some cool records. The record with Andre was great. I mean,
it was a huge record.
It was a surprise for a lot of people because people knew me for Ordinary People,
right?
And knew me for more mids and slower songs. And when I came out with that one, it was like a fresh revelation.
Yeah.
Well, who's on this upcoming album?
Chance the Rapper, Miguel, and Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes. Those are the features.
So no good music, Kanye?
No, not this time.
Is there a reason why you don't do? Is it just like that's too expected? So let me do something else.
I just went based on the records themselves and like, oh, this would be right for this record, and so that's all I did. I just based on the music.
Yo, it's so good. I mean, Kanye married 2 kids. You're now married with kids.
Yes, we're all grown up now.
Yeah,
I remember like being on tour with Kanye back in like 2004. And we were not married with kids then.
No, we most certainly were not.
And now we get to see you guys all coupled up on social media at Kanye's house eating Kim's soul food.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny because
let's have real talk about that food.
I really thought she did a good job with the soul food. She told me she got some training from a sister from the Midwest that really gave her some tips, some soul food tips, and she executed it well, I thought.
So what was her strength? What was the strength?
My favorite was the I'm gonna say the mac and cheese was really good, and the collard greens were good.
Wow. Okay. Collard greens is rough.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim
I'm gonna
K.
say that, and I've grown up on soul food. I know it very well.
So the fried chicken needed work, is what
I thought it was good, but my fried chicken's better.
Give more facts. Yeah. Yo, Kim, you hear that? It's all.
So you and Chrissy have a 6-month-old. We were just having breastfeeding talk.
Yeah.
And which makes Rosenberg feel some type of way every time I bring it up.
It's not about, not at all. I think it's great. I make fun of you because it's one of your, we know you very well, Ebro, and you have some go-to subjects that are your favorites. We all do. Breastfeeding, I would say. Like, Shawnee has 3 kids. I've been around with him for the birth of 2 of them. Right. Shawnee brings it up occasionally. It's like your #1 topic of childhood.
Because that's something that if you've been through breastfeeding with your lady before, it is...
It's very all-encompassing.
Man.
It's very all-encompassing, I would say.
Why? What do you mean? Just like it's an emotional experience?
Well, it just takes a lot of your day and your energy, and obviously we don't feel it ourselves, but we see what our wives are going through, and it's very, it's real.
And I just, and I think we're all to some degree, protective of our wives' breasts. And you're watching something happen that is natural and great, and at the same time you're like, let me just keep an eye on this situation.
And the reason I bring it up all the time is because I think men should be more involved in the process. I think socially men are often pushed out of that process, and I forced my way into that process.
How so? Couldn't you argue the opposite, that you really have no business in that process?
No, you just need to be helpful. You need to be helpful.
You need to be supportive.
And
get me a pillow.
Because your wife is going through a lot. And it's, like I said, it takes a lot of energy, and you just need to be available to do what you need to do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Change diapers, you got to be a cheerleader. You got to be a motivational speaker. You got
to help with things.
Man.
And so be there.
See, I'm glad you're here, John Legend. Thank you. Thank you, John Legend.
John has a chance at becoming, from the way he's talking, I feel like John Legend has a chance at associate guru status.
Are you here to be a part of our relationship guru segment?
All right. Let's go. I'm ready
Rosenberg
to help.
Receives
I'm
emails.
here to help, New York.
Rosenberg the Guru at Gmail, if you ever want to get in on that. And today, John Legend is going to be helping one of our listeners who has emailed. Yo, Cass, you have the new record. What's the new record called, John?
It's called Love Me Now.
Let's get on that new record. And the name of the album once again.
Darkness and Light, coming in December.
How are you and Donald Trump Jr. getting along?
Oh,
Because based on the tweets
I'll probably see him at the Penn reunions. We both went to the same college. And,
around the same time or not?
Yeah, we were intersecting. I think I was a little bit ahead of him, but I was.
You definitely said you definitely called his father a racist.
Before. And that's what facts.
Sometimes you just have to say facts.
Yeah, exactly. In fact,
and I say it based on facts.
Go ahead. How scary was it when you got the news of Kim Kardashian's incident in Paris?
Oh man, we were all scared. We were all worried for her, and then you just think about, it could happen to any of us. and that's a scary thing.
We were talking, and you were saying that in some ways, and the incident was horrible, right? But in some ways, the fact that it was her there by herself
might have been better, because
the best case scenario in a scenario that horrible.
Yeah, in a scenario that's horrible to begin with, if you got 5 armed guys there, you don't really want a shootout to occur. So if you had 2 of your own guys, like, what's going to happen? You know, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
with someone there. And 5 armed guys is like, that's something like most celebrities are not prepared to deal with. No, should you go through life expecting 5 armed guys to
come and rob
show
you
up at your door
in the bathroom in a robe, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What can you even
insane? What
can you even like say to them after something? Like that's what I kept feeling terrible about when we went on the air the next day. I'm like, you know, Kanye having the experience he's had in his life, and obviously I feel for Kim, but
he's had a lot of tragedy,
right? Like what do you say to someone like that?
It's just, you just send them love, and you know, if you need anything, let us know. But it's like they're gonna have to deal with the trauma and the grief of it for a while, and then hopefully they'll be fine again and not be. You don't want to walk around scared all the time, so hopefully you get past that fear.
But the one of the extra bummers, as we pointed out, is that a lot of people wouldn't know this, but if you're in the industry, they actually live up till then a more regular life than you might expect.
Yeah, a lot of us
go
do.
out.
A lot of us do. A lot of us, you know, we'll go to the grocery store, we'll do this, we'll do that, and you don't want to not live. You know, you don't want to live in a bunker your whole life.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it sucks. Really sucks.
John Legend has a new album on the way. December, you said not exact date though.
Yeah.
Not the exact date.
We'll have it.
Collaborations change. He said we'll get to it.
I mean, the album's done. Just know that we're not playing games with everybody.
John, you also have a new movie, right? La La
Land.
Whoa, hello.
That's coming in December too. I'm in the movie. I wrote a song for it. My company executive produced it, and it stars Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. It's directed by the guy who did Whiplash, Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, I really love that one.
Whiplash was incredible. Dope. And La La Land is a musical. It's about 2 young artists that moved to LA. One's an actress, one's a pianist. And they moved to LA and they want to make it in the business. And they fall in love, and, you know, excitement ensues.
And so it goes. How you were heavily involved in what was that Underground?
Yes, Underground. That's our show. My company executive produced that too, and we were filming season 2 right now.
It did very well.
It did really well, and it's coming back early 2017 on WGN America. And I'm gonna be in it. I made a little cameo as Frederick Douglass.
Oh, really?
We shot it last week.
You added some hair though. You had that.
Yeah,
Frederick Douglass had a mane. Jack. Yeah, his thing was real. Yo, it's time for the Guru. Are you ready?
Of course. You think I didn't prepare for the great John Legend?
Let's go.
Khaled.
All right, this is from an anonymous 29-year-old in New Rochelle. He says, hello, Guru, Associate Guru Shawnee, and never to be Associate Gurus Laura and Ebro.
Never. I'll never make it.
In this particular case, Laura's opinion as well, and the other ladies would be helpful. Long story short, before having my son...
Wait, he's gonna...
He
How's he gonna insult me and then ask me for my opinion?
He's just telling the truth, though. You're never going to be a guru. All right, fine. And then he'll ask the other ladies in the room. He says, before having my son, dating and having relationships was never a problem. But now as a single dad, I seem to have a bit of trouble with any female ever taking me seriously. My son's mom and I are separated. We're on good terms and get along for the well-being of our child. We don't mess around or have sex at all. And me being the honest person that I am, I let these things be known to, when I date someone out of the gate, so no one has any worries of me cheating with the ex, etc. But soon after they find out about my son, it seems like they slowly start to disappear. Am I doing wrong by being honest with the whole thing? Should I just keep quiet about it? All advice is appreciated. Love you guys. Listen every morning.
I mean, you might, John Legend. Can you speak on this? I mean,
I think he's gonna be fine. I think it's not for everyone being with somebody that already has a kid, but I think I have friends, female friends that are with men that have kids. And I think they respect it when he's a good father. I think they respect that, and it lets them know like what he could be for them in the future too. As long as he's not messing around with the ex, that's the big thing. Like they don't want to feel like that constant tug of the ex.
Shawnee, you've been through this experience. You have
4 or 5 times.
30 or 40 children.
Many times.
Small village. What do you think?
I say he be patient. He's probably in his 20s. You know what I mean? So a lot of women, you know, in their 20s, they have so many options. They're all going to compromise as soon as they're 30.
That's nice, Sean.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as they turn 30.
It's true.
Settle your ass down and date you a man with a kid when you crack 30,
Right,
ladies.
so keep being a good father. Never deny your child. Be completely honest with every woman that you confront.
Yes.
And when you turn around 30 and they see that you've been holding your child down and they're compromising, their checklist goes from 30 to 3.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
You're in the game, bro.
What about this though? Can I?
Listen,
I don't know if it'll be down to 3, but it'll be
Lower.
But you'll start to realize, like, you know, what you're really looking for and what's important.
Let's just be honest. Girls in their 20s are idealistic dreamers, all right? You're in your 20s, that's why he's having problems.
I hate you guys
when you
so much.
crack 30, they start to negotiate.
She's like,
okay, let
I
me
hate you
speak.
guys.
Yes, Laura.
I hate you. I hate all of you.
Laura-
But you know what? Okay, this time, I have to agree with Shawnee. As soon as I hit 30, I started negotiating. I'm like, oh, maybe I could put up with this. Maybe I'll take that. I always said I would never date a guy with a kid, and then I was like, well, he's a great guy. He's a great father. Why not?
Does your guy now have a kid?
No.
Oh, congratulations. Now, real quick, I just want to say one thing we're missing out on. It also depends on what this guy wants. If you're scaring off women who you just want to have fun with because you're bringing up the kid right away, you don't need to do that if you're just trying to date, go out every once in a while, have a good time.
Sure,
you may
but I
not
think
need to
he's
bring it
trying
up
to-
unless you're for real.
But I think he's trying to be with somebody, for real. That's what he sounds like he wants.
Wow. And you know what? This is a man who's written love songs that are played at weddings around the world for the rest of the time. This is a man who knows. This is the new associate guru.
Yes.
So says John Legend.
Hey, bro, since John Legend is here, how about we just continue to talk to him during the flashing lights? Because this is ridiculous, but we have to ask you. Let's talk about great social media moments with John Legend.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Is my wife
He's had
involved?
some, absolutely.
Okay. So
your
what
wife's
about-
a legend on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Well, your wife is definitely a legend. I love her.
She's the queen.
But let's talk about, did you ever see the meme with the baby who looked just
Oh,
like
yeah,
you?
of course. I've seen it so many times. What was funny was my friends don't realize how many times that my fans will tweet that image to me.
Right.
And like a year later, they're like, "Did you see this?" I'm like, "Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it."
I mean, the baby's a spitting image of you.
He looks like me.
Is there anything
I
you want
agree.
to
No.
announce on?
No, I am not the father.
What about the photo of you and I think was eating chicken wings off of Chrissy?
Off of Chrissy's butt.
That was amazing.
That was for her cookbook photo shoot, and it was just improv. We were sitting there, and I was going to eat the chicken wings anyway, and then I laid it on her butt, and she just started moving her butt, and the chicken was moving with it, and I was like,
I respect it. You guys have a phenomenal relationship. Sounds like.
I think one of the things though I do love about your wife is how she just doesn't care. She just goes in.
you know, sometimes it seems like she doesn't care, but she does care, you know, and like she'll read a lot of the feedback that people send her, and sometimes it's a lot, you know.
Right, of
And
course.
it's a lot of negativity sometimes, and so sometimes she'll have to unplug. That's why she went private on her account recently. She may unprivate again at some point, but she was just like, I had enough negativity. I need to like.
What is she getting? Like, is it death threats, racism? I mean, the whole.
Craziness.
Everything, man. You get some death threats, but some of it's just nasty misogyny.
Of course.
Some of it's a little bit racial, like they'll have some kind of Asian joke or whatever that they want to get off. And, you know, I just feel like, yeah, it's just a lot of hate when women speak their mind.
And I do appreciate when I think during the Colorado shooting of the Planned Parenthood clinic, I remember she tweeted, every time ish like this happens, me and John make another donation to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, we do. That's the truth. And because we know Planned Parenthood helps a lot of young women especially.
Absolutely.
And men, and it helps people get access to services they might not get anywhere else. And anytime someone's trying to take that away from people, we're like, oh, we're going to go harder for them. We're going to give more money to them.
Isn't it amazing that there's so many people who care so deeply about the unborn children?
Yeah, but
of
they don't care
people
once
of
you're
color,
born.
but once they're born, they have no interest in giving them a thing.
But not only that, Planned Parenthood helps not only with that, it's just like that's sometimes the only time a lot of people get to go to the doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go to an OBGYN.
You guys,
of course.
we've talked on this program about the racist agenda of the far right to make sure that more black and brown babies aren't born. We've had that conversation on the show. Like, they're okay, right, with us dying once we are alive, right? But they want to act like they're good Samaritans and protect babies, right?
Yeah, I don't know if...
Listen, I'm not going to make it like it's sinister, their motives, but I think they're so focused on the fetus, but once someone's born, they want to keep taxes low, so they don't want to help. Their main mission is to keep taxes low.
Right.
And so anything that costs money makes it harder to keep taxes low. And so they want to deny you food stamps. They want to deny you this, deny you that. And the main focus is how do we keep taxes low? So you necessarily have to cut spending if you want to keep taxes low. And so the first thing to go is programs for the poor for them.
Facts. And you say that based on facts.
John, before we let you up out of here, one more time for the album, the title.
Darkness and Light, December. The single's out right now. You can get it on iTunes, Spotify, all the places you get singles.
Last time I saw you live, you were on tour with Sade. That was how many years ago?
That was 2011.
So what's the tour plans this time?
Oh, the tour will be next year, and it's gonna be great. You know, all the new music, all the favorites that you love. We're gonna do it up.
Are you as socially and politically active as you are, and everything that's going on in this country, from police brutality to what's going on with the presidential race, and just I guess us actually as a country we have to deal with these issues.
Yeah, we have to.
We can't hide from them anymore. What are the conversations that you're hearing in your circles about how we're going to address race in this country, the history of white supremacy in this country, the mass incarceration, just everything?
Well, we talk a lot about mass incarceration and what we have to do about that. And a lot of it, you know, we talk about the presidential election so much, but we don't realize that so much of it's happening locally. So when you elect a DA, you're really electing someone that's going to lock a bunch of kids up and make a lot of decisions on how that's done. So you have to choose the right DA so that they're looking at the situation holistically and they're not just trying to lock kids up for the maximum amount and not trying to go on every technicality that they can to lock people up for as long as possible. So we've been focusing a lot on that. So all these local DA races, we got involved in Chicago, we got involved in Florida, and all these races matter. Brooklyn actually just lost a DA that was trying to change things.
Ken Thompson.
Yeah, he was trying to change things and trying to make the DA understand the situation better and not go for the most for everybody.
Well, he was also getting people out of jail that were wrongly convicted.
Exactly,
too.
and nonviolent drug offenders. A lot of times people were going, putting these kids away for like 20 years when they didn't really hurt anybody, and it could have been dealt with in another way.
Appreciate you, man. Keep doing great work.
Thank you
for coming by the show.
John
Thanks,
Legend.
John.